Let's look at this Khel Hellam case file that we got here. And this is all very intriguing, interesting stuff. So this dude's an elder of F.U.G. Okay, he's a blue hole. Interesting. Power of the ancient. Okay, he has the arrows. And with the ability of the Red Witch Soo-oh, he's able to displace people. Okay, that's power of the ancients. Also has something similar. That's curious. He wanted to control Doom, make Doom the new Slayer instead of Yama. And I'm just looking at some of the results that happened here, how he acted the moment that his ability to see fate was countered, and I'm just like, is this guy a fucking clown? I
時々俺が綺麗どうもそして僕を見て頑張りますあのね Y'all talking time just tick away You ain't clocking hours on the day All that watch is stopping what you claim Dollar crosses real got me name Hoping God just get me out this way.
Okay. So Khel Hellam is honestly in himself a very fascinating case study. I don't know for better or for worse in terms of what to do with a character like this or what not to do, but it's interesting in its own right. And I think I have a lot to say, and I am a little pressed for time, so forgive me. This is not going to be heavily edited. I'm going to transition to a screen. It's going to have a picture of Khel Hellam or something, and I'm just going to be speaking. So you can have this on in the background while you just listen, because I need to dive into the conundrum of everything that he did. There's a lot of good, a lot of bad, and a lot of I'm just not sure what to make of it, but I do think he's an interesting character. I don't dislike him. I really like his power set and what he could do and the techniques and stuff that he brought, and the fact that I think the blue hole concept opened up another tier of strength in the tower. So we're going to dive into that. Like and subscribe and hit the bell dawn so the ghost of the 13-month series doesn't get you, and let's see if we can figure out this dude, Khel Hellam. I do want to apologize in advance. This is going to be one of those videos where I'm kind of all over the place and rambly. So bear with me, but I do want to talk about his introduction initially with Soo-oh and Khel Hellam. Thought it was really dope. An F.U.G elder being introduced is incredible. And I really like the concept of a blue hole. And here's why. I feel like for the most part, we might be done with the games when it comes to the climb. If anything, I do believe that these guys will just take the administrator test and be on with it. But I don't think they're going to struggle really against any regulars or anything of the sort. We're going to be dealing with rankers, high rankers, and advanced rankers moving forward. I have argued in a previous video that BAM is upper ranker, advanced ranker level. You'll see a card here. And real quick, one last plug. We did do a Shinsu clash between Khel Hellam and the Vankel. There should be a card popping up here at some point. If you want to check that out after, if you haven't seen it, go ahead, feel free. You don't have to, but okay. So the blue hole concept is interesting to me because, like I just said, I think we're kind of done with the traditional climb and regular. So we've moved on, and I already feel like BAM is close enough to high ranker level that they're gonna be obsolete soon enough. With the blue hole, what you do is you actually introduce an unknown tier of strength. So forget about them being super strong or weak. We have no idea. Beings who have been in the tower for so long and out of the spotlight for so long, we can't really gauge their power, influence, or recognition any longer. And Khel Hellam is one of those beings. What I believe this does is moving forward, let's say like the ranking from whatever, like the traditional in-tower rankings we have, they could become obsolete possibly if we pass the 134th floor to see what hostile administrator was there and what's left. So maybe there's a bunch of really strong beings that are just hiding out in the tower. Like, you know, there could be like an unknown irregular or something. We don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying we don't know. That's what it does. It gives SIU a pool to draw from where he can just pull out strong characters that we don't know about because they're blue holes. And he also kind of did this with the battlefield to battlefield training that BAM had, where he would run into like a Hoff family, a regular who decided not to become a ranker, but he was pretty powerful. And then, you know, when BAM was speaking to the Mad Dog in the cage, he's like, you're not the strongest regular, even for this rank that I've seen, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So the blue hole stuff was good. If you guys have ever heard me talk about the fact that I think Shinsu is super dope from the standpoint that SIU kind of made it limitless, but I'm disappointed for the most part. All we kind of see is beams. Khel Hellam's paths and teleportation ability, his ancient, and what he can do in conjunction with Soo-oh to completely displace you from a floor is something that I want to see more often. I like stuff like this. I like utility attacks and attacks like this. The fact that he has this cool looking purple Shinsu and he's using a bow and arrow is also kind of awesome to me, because I always was wondering like, why aren't there like more guns? But like arrows are like the prototype gun or crossbow, if you will. And I always like archery. I think archery is really cool. So I really appreciate his ability and fighting style in conjunction with how he can kind of see fate a little bit. But let's get to the part why I called it the curious case of Khel Hellam, because I just find him very hard to understand, believe, or just kind of get a grasp on. I know, like, if I just kind of ignore the things that are bothering me, he saw fate, and the path that he thought was right was to make Doom the new Slayer, get rid of Yama, bring the K9 people to the wall of peaceful coexistence, and do whatever he had to do. Got played again like he did during the Age of Genesis when he was trying to go against the king, Jihad, and look what happened. And the moment it happened, he folded. He folded immediately. And he was like, nah, I'm useless, bro. I know I'm strong and OD, can't come. I'm like, bro, I can't stand this nigga. Like, he's a clown. Like, he's interesting. I don't hate him, but I definitely think he's a fucking clown, because you would think with all this wisdom and experience, he wouldn't have gotten too arrogant with his ability to see the future. What you were doing with the going to the wall of peaceful coexistence does tie into the king and Jihad. Why didn't you even consider the fact that you could have been being manipulated? I just don't get it. Like, as a young man in the Age of Genesis, I totally understand making that mistake. Actually, you made the mistake and you didn't even learn from it. So there's that. Now, I fundamentally, on a personal level, there's nothing wrong with this in terms of like how it went in the story, making Doom the Slayer. I understood that he wanted to control Doom and whatnot, but it's like, Yama is fucking stronger. What is the point of this organization? Is it not to raise enough the Slayers to be able to take out all the family heads plus the king? Why would you want a weaker Slayer? Does that make any sense to anybody else? Makes no fucking sense. And Doom is a clown. Doom is weak. Doom has been sealed. I don't care if you could control him and control the K9 people. That was not going to change the tides against fucking Jihad or whatever the case is. Yama would, because he's that nigga. To the point where, as an F.U.G elder, you would think this guy has a grasp on all the various Slayers, what they can and can't do, and had no idea that Yama's full K9 transformation was putting him on par with the gods of monsters, or devils, sorry, from the first generation of Slayers. He had no clue. He didn't have to even exert this much energy. So what the fuck is you're seeing the path thing for? Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Where I'm like, so many things about him just it baffles me. I just don't understand. It's intriguing. I want to say it's intriguing. It is, but it's just like, what is good with this dude? Yama was the right Slayer all along, and he's talking about, if I try too hard right now, I won't have the strength later on. But it's like, if you don't win your fight right now, you can't go to the later on part. So, are you capping? Can you beat this nigga or not? Because I don't think that Khel Hellam was strong enough to beat Yama and Vankil by himself. I don't think he could have done it. I do think it's impressive that he was taking them on. Give him credit, and he has a lot of experience to draw back on. I remember SIU saying something like that in the blog post. So I understand that even if he was outpowered, because of his ability to see fate and his experiences from the Age of Genesis up until now, he could draw upon his past experiences, which could have helped him in the battle, which I think is actually a really dope thing. I would like to see more of that. Like, a character being outclassed in terms of maybe strength, speed, and this, that, and the third, but they are smart about what they're doing and draw upon their experiences in order to overcome those trials and tribulations. I think that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm not sure what to do with thing. I can't believe he folded the way that he folded. I thought that when he was coming and he's like, okay, well, Bam is messing with your ability to see the future a little bit. Don't you think that's problematic if that's the thing you are leaning on? It's not like he had this plan before and he's kind of adjusting the plan. He is following a path that he is seeing with his ability to see fate and destiny. if that's being impeded by any means, do you think it's a very smart idea to continue to push through that? I would be like, I'm gonna have to fall back. And he came with all this confidence, all this swag. He's like, he's stunned on everybody, and then as soon as the littlest thing went wrong, this dude just folded like origami. I couldn't believe it. Again, very interesting character. I actually really like how his fighting style. I think his fight with Yama is incredible. I loved it. I kind of call it like the swords are revealing lights all over, and then Yama's trying to close in. I really like how SIU choreographed it with like, it felt to me like he constantly had Khel Hellam kind of, hitting like a James Harden step back in the background, while Yama was constantly in the attack from the forefront of the panel, and it always looked to me like he was more so on the defensive. And give him credit, he took that spear hit too. He healed himself and everything. He temporarily trapped the Van Kel and Han Sung Yu in that path cage thing, which I thought was so cool. He even got Yama out of there for a second, but Yama was so fast he reappeared immediately. Also, you were a part of this incredible plan to wake up Doom, and this plan hinged on the fact that you guys hoped this nigga Yama would stay asleep. I just need you to do better. I don't know. Again, it's not, I don't want anyone to like get the wrong idea. Like, I'm mad and I'm raging. It's frustrating in a way, but it's so intriguing. I just don't know what to make of this character. I would argue the only other character that does this to me as much as him is fucking Doan. I have no idea what this idiot girl wants to do, what she's about, her goals, motivation. She's all over the place. And that could be interesting in its own way, because listen, humans are pretty fickle. People are fickle. Human beings don't really have some of the personalities and things we see in a lot of these shows with like, that's the funny guy, stoic guy, hyperactive knucklehead. We're fluid. Around our friends, we're more comfortable in a certain environment. We might not talk a lot. Like, we're different, and we are inconsistent. So like, you can argue that maybe that's just what it is, but I don't know. That all being said, he is OD strong, incredible, one of the strongest characters we see without a shadow of a doubt. With a really, really unique fighting style, with unique abilities. The fact he has an ancient the bison or the bull, whatever you want to call it. That thing was really cool. The way it was attacking the cage and trying to pull it away. And then because of this, he could always kind of fight 2-on-1 or 2-on-2. He always has like a stand-up to kind of help him in the background. But I think I have said everything I needed to say. If there's anything that you think I forgot to mention, feel free to say in the comment section below. What are your thoughts and opinions on Khel Hellam? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Are you with me? Do you think he's kind of a clown? He's hard to kind of wrap your head around, so to speak. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, but I will stop rambling. And yeah, you guys have yourselves a mighty fine day. I think I'll mention this real quick. Sorry, bring it back. F.U.G organization, I would argue is splintered, and Slayer and their camp, while I would argue for the most part do want to fulfill their role, they have different agendas. So I can understand that there's characters in this organization running around doing their own thing. I don't know if Khel Hellam was operating within the organization or what have you, did his own thing. I don't know, but I do find it still like this is the last one I mentioned. Find it strange that like he would want a weaker Slayer, even if it's because you could control him. Because Yama kind of does his own thing. It's like, I need to take out the strongest people in the tower. Why don't I get a weaker puppet to do it? What are we talking about? I understand that he can control canine people. Actually, I call them Houndborns. I don't know why I keep calling them canine people, but anyway, the Houndborns. And it's like, okay, you want to use these guys in combat to make an army or whatever, but it's like, I want to no bullshit, no cap. Are you guys really impressed by the Houndborns on a general scale? Yama, dope. Honestly, I think the Baylord brothers are fine in their own right. I like Jordan, give or take a couple other people in the camp. I see Kanzan, not really a fan of. I think Godot's a fucking clown. Oh my god. All of them combat dogs and regulars, Louis, Dang, they not it. So it's like, was this army really gonna help you? And at the end of the day, let's just say somehow by some miracle he pulled this off. All Jihad would have had to do is send Yas Racha at those people, and it was over with. I don't get it. It gives me a headache. but it's interesting. Oh, what's going on?
In my drugs, yeah. Pour it in my cup, yeah. Sitting in my darkness with my ghouls, we pouring up. I don't really give a fuck, I don't really have a say, yeah. You tell me that I suck, I tell you get up out my face. You got tears in your eyes, looking like a fool.